my new channel Important in Science. First, before we get started, we should know about what in this channel will we do. I will read the lessons as in the textbook, I will highlight the important one words already, and if you mark it in your book and read, it will be very easy. For example, if you are studying for an exam, definitely you have a quick recap. But this video will be very useful because simply reading yourself will not be enough. If you hear someone's reading, it will be more useful. So, without any delay, let's jump into our chapter.
Chapter 1 Crop Production and Management. Pehli and Bojo went to their uncle's house during the summer vacation. Their uncle is a farmer. One day they saw some tools like kuprik, sickle, shovel, plough, etc. in the field. You have learnt that all living organisms require food. Plants can make their food themselves. Can you recall how green plants synthesize their own food? Animals, including humans, cannot make their own food. So, where do animals get their food from? But first of all, why do we have to eat food? You already know that energy from the food is utilized by organisms for carrying out their various body functions such as digestion, respiration, and excretion. We get our food from plants or animals or both. In order to provide food for large population, regular production, proper management and distribution is necessary. Agricultural practices. Till 10,000 BC, people were nomadic. They were wandering in groups from place to place in search of food and shelter. They ate raw fruits and vegetables and started hunting animals for food. Later, they could cultivate land and produce rice, wheat, and other food crops. Thus was born agriculture. When plants of the same kind are cultivated at one place on large scale, it is called a crop. For example, crop of wheat means that all the plants grown in a field are that of wheat. You already know that crops are of different types like cereals, vegetables, and fruits. These can be classified on the basis of the season in which they are grown. India is a vast country. Climatic conditions like temperature, humidity, rainfall vary from one region to other. Accordingly, there is a rich variety of crops grown in different parts of country. Despite this diversity, two broad cropping patterns can be identified. These are Kharif crops, the crops which are sown in rainy season are called Kharif crops. The rainy season in India is generally from June to September. Paddy, maize, soybean, groundnut and cotton are Kharif crops. Rabi crops. The crops grown in the winter season, October to March, are called Rabi crops. Examples of Rabi crops are wheat, gram, pea, mustard and linseed. Besides these, pulses and vegetables are grown during summer season at many places. Cultivation of crops involves several activities undertaken by farmers over a period of time. You may find that these activities are similar to those carried out by a gardener or even by you when you grow ornamental plants in your house. These activities or tasks are referred to as agricultural practices which are listed below. First, preparation of soil, sowing, adding manure or fertilizers, irrigation, protecting from weeds, harvesting, storage. Preparation of soil. The preparation of soil in the first step before growing is the first step before growing a crop. One of the most important tasks in agriculture is to turn the soil and loosen it. This allows the roots to penetrate deep into the soil. The loose soil allows the roots to breathe easily even when they go deep into the soil. Why does the loosening of soil allow the roots to breathe easily? The loosened soil helps in the growth of earthworms and microbes present in the soil. These organisms are friends of the farmer since they further turn and loosen the soil and add humus to it. But why the soil needs to be turned and loosened? You have learnt in the previous classes that soil contains minerals, water, air and some living organism. In addition, dead plants and animals get decomposed by soil organism. In this way, various nutrients in the dead organism are released back into the soil. These nutrients are again absorbed by plants. Since only a few centimeters of top layer of soil supports plant growth, turning and loosening of soil brings the nutrient-rich soil to the top so that plants can use these nutrients. Thus, turning and loosening of soil is very important for cultivation of crops. The process of loosening and turning of the soil is called tilling or ploughing. This is done by a plough. Ploughs are made of wood or iron. If the soil is very dry, it may need watering before ploughing, and ploughed field may have big clumps of soil called cruds. It is necessary to break these cruds. Leveling the field is beneficial for sowing as well as for irrigation. Leveling of soil is done with the help of a leveler. Sometimes manure is added to the soil before tilling. This helps in proper mixing of manure with soil. The soil is moistened before sowing agricultural implements. Before sowing the seeds, it is necessary to break the soil crumbs to better yield. This is done with the help of various tools. The main tools used for this purpose are plough, hoe and cultivator. Cultivator plough. This is being used since ancient times for tilling the soil, adding adding fertilizers to the crop, removing the weeds and turning the soil. This is made of wood and is drawn by a pair of bulls or other animals such as horses and camels. It contains a strong triangular iron strip called plowshare. The main part of the plow is a long log of wood which is called the long there is a handle at one end to the shaft. The other end is attached by the other. The main part of the plough is long log of wood which is called a plough shaft. There is a handle at one end of the shaft. The other end is attached to a beam which is placed on bull's neck. One pair of bulls and a man can easily operate the plough. The indigenous wooden plough is increasingly being replaced by iron ploughs nowadays. Hoe. It is a simple tool which is used for removing weeds from and for loosening the soil. It has a long rod of wood or iron. A strong, broad and bent plate of iron is fixed at one of its ends and works like a blade. It is pulled by animals. Now, cultivator. Nowadays, plowing is done by tractor-driven cultivator. The use of cultivator saves labor and time. Sowing is an important part of crop production. Before sowing, good quality, clean and healthy seeds of a good variety are selected. Farmers prefer to use seeds which give high yields. Are there seeds which float on water? Would those be lighter or heavier than those which sink? Why would they be lighter? Damaged seeds became hollow and thus lighter. Therefore, they float on water. This is a good method for separating good healthy seeds from the damaged ones. Before sowing, one of the important tasks is to know about the tools used for sowing seeds. Traditional tool. The tool used is traditionally for sowing seeds. Sowing seeds is shaped like a funnel. The seeds are filled into the funnel, passed down through 2 or 3 pipes having sharp ends. These ends pierce into the soils and place seeds there. Seed drill. Nowadays, the seed drill is used for sowing with the help of tractors. This sows the seeds uniformly at equal distance and depth. It ensures that seeds get covered by soil after sowing. This protects seeds from being eaten by birds. Sowing by using a seed drill saves time and labor. Appropriate distance between the seeds is necessary to avoid overcrowding of plants. This allows plants to get sufficient sunlight, nutrients, and water from the soil. At times, a very few plants are made to be removed to prevent overcrowding. Adding manure and fertilizers. The substances which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients for the healthy growth of plants are called manure and fertilizers. Soil supplies mineral nutrients to the crop plants. These nutrients are essential for the growth of plant. In certain areas, farmers grow crop after crop in the same field. The field is never left uncultivated or fallow. Imagine that what happens to the nutrients. Continuous cultivation of crops makes the soil poor in nutrients. Therefore, farmers have to add manure to the fields to replenish the soil with nutrients. This process is called manuring. Improper or insufficient manuring results in weak plants. Manure is an organic substance obtained from a decomposition of plant or animal wastes. Farmers dump plant and animal waste in a pits at open places and allow it to decompose. The decomposition is caused by some microorganisms. The decomposed matter is used as organic manure. You have already learnt about vermicomposting in class 6. In class 6, in class did in all the glasses grow at the same pace? Which glass showed? Fertilizers are chemicals which are rich in a particular nutrient. How are they different from manure? Fertilizers are produced in factories. Some examples of fertilizers are urea, ammonia, sulfate, superphosphate, potash, NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. The use of fertilizers had helped farmers to get better yield of crops such as wheat, paddy, and maize. But excessive use of fertilizers had made the soil less fertile. Fertilizers had made the soil. Fertilizers have also become a source of water pollution. Therefore, in order to maintain the fertility of a soil, we have to substitute fertilizers with organic manure or leave the field uncultivated. Follow in between two crops. The use of manure improves soil texture as well as its retaining capacity, its water retaining capacity. It replenishes the soil with nutrients. Another method of replenishing the soil with nutrients is through crop rotation. This can be done by growing different crops alternately. Earlier, farmers in northern India used to grow legumes as fodder in one season and wheat in the next season. This helped in the replenishment of soil with nitrogen. Farmers are being encouraged to adapt this practice. In previous classes, you have learnt about rhizobium bacteria. These are present in the nodules of roots and leguminous plants. They fix atmospheric nitrogen. This is a difference between fertilizer and manure. We just give a readout about this. Fertilizer, manure. Fertilizers is a man-made inorganic salt. Manure is a natural substance obtained by decomposition of cattle dung and plant residues. Fertilizers is prepared in factories. Manure can be prepared in the fields. Fertilizers does not provide any humus to the soil. Manure provides a lot of humus to the soil. Fertilizers are very rich in plant nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Manure is relatively less rich in plant nutrients. While reading this, you will give the differences between fertilizers and manure. Advantages of manure. The organic manure is considered better than fertilizers. This is because it enhances the water holding capacity of the soil, makes the soil porous due to which exchange of gases became easy. It increases the number of friendly microbes. It improves the texture of the soil. Next, irrigation. All living beings need water to live. Water is important for proper growth and development. Water is absorbed by the plant roots. Along with water, minerals and fertilizers are also absorbed. Plants contain nearly 90% water. Water is essential because germination of seed does not take place under dry conditions. Nutrients dissolved in water are transported to each part of the plant. Water also protect the crop from both frost and air currents, hot air currents. To maintain the moisture of the soil for healthy crop growth, fields have to be watered regularly. The supply of water to crops at regular intervals is called irrigation. The time and frequency of irrigation varies from crop to crop, soil to soil, season to season. In summer, the frequency of watering is high. Why is it so? Could it be due to the increased rate of evaporation of water from the soil and the leaves? Sources of irrigation. The sources of water for irrigation are wells, tube wells, ponds, lakes, rivers, dams, and canals. Traditional methods of irrigation. The water available in wells, lakes, and canals is lifted up by different methods in different regions for taking it to the fields. Cattle or human labor is used in those methods. So these methods are cheaper but less efficient. The various traditional ways are moat, pulley system, chain pump, deckly, and rawhead leveler system. Pumps are commonly used for lifting water. Diesel, biogas, electricity, and solar energy is used to run these pumps. Modern methods of irrigation. Modern methods of irrigation helps us to water economically. The main method used are as follows. Sprinkler system. This system is more useful on uneven land where sufficient water is not available. The perpendicular pipes having rotating nozzles on the top are joined to the main pipeline at regular intervals. When water is allowed to flow through the main pipe under pressure with the help of a pump, it escapes from the rotating nozzles. It gets sprinkled on the crop as if it is raining. Sprinkler is very useful for lawns, coffee plantation, and several other crops. Drip system. In this system, water falls drop by drop directly near the roots. So it is called drip system. It is the best technique for watering fruit plants, gardens, and trees. Water is not wasted at all. It is a boon in regions where availability of water is poor. Protection from weeds. Bojo and Paheli went to nearby wheat field and saw that there were some other plants in the field growing along with the wheat plants. In a field, many other undesirable plants may grow naturally with the crop. These undesirable plants are called weeds. The removal of weeds is called weeding. Weeding is necessary since weeds compete with the crop plants for water, nutrients, and space and light. Thus, they affect the growth of the crop. Some weeds Weeding is necessary since weeds compete with the crop plants for water, nutrients, space, and light. Thus, they affect the growth of the crop. Some weeds interfere even in harvesting and may be poisonous for animals and human beings. Farmers adopt many ways to remove weeds and control their growth. Tilling before sowing of crops helps in uprooting and killing of weeds, which may then dry up and get mixed with the soil. The best time for removal of weeds is before they produce flowers and seeds. The manual removal includes physical removal of weeds by uprooting or cutting them close to the ground with the help of cupre. A seed drill is also used to uproot weeds. Weeds are also controlled by using certain chemicals called weedicides like 2,4-D. These are sprayed in fields to kill the weeds. They do not damage the crops. Weedicides are diluted with water to the extent required and sprayed in the fields with the sprayer. As already mentioned, The weedicides are sprayed during vegetative growth of weeds before flowering and seed formation. Spraying of weeds may affect the health of the farmers, so they should use these chemicals very carefully. They should cover their nose and mouth with a piece of cloth during spraying of these chemicals. Harvesting of a crop is an important task. The cutting of a crop after it is mature is called harvesting. In harvesting, crops are pulled out or cut close to the ground. It usually takes 3 to 4 months for cereal crop to mature. Harvesting in our country is either done manually by sickle or by a machine called harvester. In the harvested crop, the grain seeds need to be separated from the chaff. This process is called threshing. This is carried out with the help of machine called combine, which is in fact a harvester as well as thresher. Farmers with small holdings of land do the separation of grain and chaff by winnowing. You have already studied this in class 6. Harvest festival. After three or 4 months of hard work, there comes the day of the harvest. The sight of golden fields of standing crops laden with grain fills the heart of the farmers with joy and the sense of well-being. The efforts of the past season have borne fruit, and it is time to relax and enjoy a little. The period of harvest is thus of great joy and happiness in all parts of India. Men and women celebrate it with great enthusiasm. Special festivals associated with the harvest season are Pongal, Baisakhi, Holi, Diwali, Nabanya, and Bihu. Storage of produce is an important task. If the harvested grains are to be kept for a longer time, they should be safe from moisture, insects, rats, and microorganisms. Harvested grains have more moisture. If freshly harvested grains, that means seeds, are stored without drying, they may get spoiled or attacked by organisms, making them left for use or for germination. Hence, before storing them, the grains are properly dried in the sun to reduce the moisture in them. This prevents the attack of insect, pest, bacteria, and fungi. Farmers store the grains in jute bags or metallic bins. However, large-scale storage of grains is done in silos and granaries to protect them from pests like rats and insects. Dried neem leaves are used for storing food grains at home. For storing large quantities of grains in big godowns, specific chemical treatments are required to protect them from pests and microorganisms. After completing this table, you must just have seen that like plants, animals also provide us with different kinds of food. The table mentioned here is the activity 1.3. Let us give a glance to that also. Make the following table in your notebook and complete it. Food: milk, cow, buffalo, sheep, goat, sheep, camel, etc. You have to fill the tabular column. After completing this table, you must see that like plants, animals also provide us with different kinds of food. Many People living in coastal areas consume fish as major part of their diet. In previous classes, you have learnt about the food that were obtained from plants. We just seen that the process of crop production involves a number of steps like selection of seeds, growing, sowing, etc. Similarly, animals reared at home or in farms have to be provided with the proper food, shelter, and care. When this is done on a large scale, it is called animal husbandry. Let us see the new words or keywords of this lesson. Agricultural practices, animal husbandry, crop, fertilizer, granaries, harvesting, irrigation, kharif, manure, plough, rabi, seeds, silo, sowing, storage, threshing, weeds, weedicide, winnowing. Let us give a short recap of this lesson by reading what you have learnt. In order to provide food to our growing population, we need to adapt certain agriculture practices. Same kind of plants cultivated at a place constitute a crop. In India, crops can be broadly categorized into two types based on seasons, Rabi and Kharif crops. It is necessary to prepare soil by tilling and leveling. Plows and levelers are used for this purpose. Sowing of seeds at appropriate depths and distance gives good yield. Good variety of seeds are sown after selection of healthy seeds. Sowing is done by seed drills. Soil needs replenishment and enrichment through the use of organic manure and fertilizers. Use of chemical fertilizers has increased the trend tremendously with the introduction of new crop varieties. Supply of water to crops at appropriate intervals is called irrigation. Weeding involves removal of unwanted and uncultivated plants called weeds. Harvesting is the cutting of the mature crop manually or by machine. Separation of the grains from the chaff is called threshing. Proper storage of grains is necessary to protect them from pests and microorganisms. Food is also obtained from animals for which animals are reared. This is called animal husbandry. I think this video will be very useful for you. Please subscribe this channel and share it to your friends and click the like button. Let us meet with the new chapter with another day.